To close this year's conference, I am pleased to welcome Ken Heinecke to the stage. Ken is Senior Vice President of Supervision, Regulation, and Credit at the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis. In this role, he leads regional supervision of bank holding companies and state member banks in the Federal Reserve's 9th District. Previously, Ken served as a vice president overseeing safety and soundness function at the Minneapolis Fed and as a senior leader of U.S. stress testing. He has experience managing risk across all sizes of banks and has served regularly on the committee that prepares his bank president for Federal Open Market Committee meetings. And Ken has also been a member of our conference planning committee, and so his fingerprints are also on this conference. And I am just delighted to welcome Ken to the stage to offer his closing thoughts and to close this year's proceedings. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Jim. So being at the end here, there are still some people here. That's impressive. I really don't think there's anything left I can say or summarize that hasn't been said or summarized already. But in the interest of, not thanking people enough, I am going to thank people again. But first, I'm just going to praise the conference in two ways that maybe, I guess were said, but I'd like to say again, having been on the planning committee now this is my second year. They let you, in your first year, they kind of keep you in the background. In the second year, they let you out a little bit. One of the things that's really great in bringing the researchers and the bankers together is sort of being able to see the lived experience versus the research part. It would be great if, we could send some of the researchers to a bank and flip a loan file. It would be great if we could have some of the bankers perhaps, do some of the research and switch it around once in a while. But it's really, I forget the comment earlier, something about touch grass. I love that. I think it's really great when, that lived experience part is so important. I've definitely been in places at times where I've heard the research about something going on in banking, and I say, I believe everything that you did. These numbers make sense. That's all great, but I don't think this is really true in real life. And this is the time where we get to exchange that kind of information. So I just find that awesome. The second thing about this conference that I've observed now over 2 years is its expansiveness. My colleagues really want to try to broaden participation to scholars and young people and other bankers, and it's really a testament to excellent work. So with that, because I can't thank you enough, again, FDIC, CSBS, thank you so much for the partnership. Calling out my colleague Carl White and his ongoing excellent host leadership here. We really do appreciate it. Special thanks, Summer Dumond, Amy McDaniels, and Jim Fuchs. I know we've said your name a few times, but this is a 12-month long process, which will start again tomorrow. So thank you for you guys. Speakers, discussants, and moderators. The papers were phenomenal. We did hear John Kandrak's name. I also want to call out Blake Marsh and Smith Williams. I hope Smith is online. I don't know if she was able to make it, but they waded through piles of papers, and I think you saw that their effort was excellent. Just really great papers this year. Thank you to the academics. Stefan, I'd like a signed white paper for my files. And then to the bankers, thank you for your ongoing partnership and collaboration. Really felt that here today. So thank you, friends. So the last bit for me, again, I'm not sure I can say anything new that hasn't already been reviewed, but I can take you through sort of my emotional journey over the last day or so related to, this topic of technology and innovation. It really is a double-edged sword. I really heard a lot of, if you're doing your SWOT analysis, the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and Threats, I feel like this goes across the bottom. The technology and innovation part it's an opportunity and it's a threat, and I'm hearing it. We heard it from everybody. What are some examples? Vice Chair Bowman started us out saying the importance of innovation and how we're really gonna emphasize and try to accept this into the system in smart ways. And then I heard from Joey, Kathleen, and Tom on the survey, and others have mentioned this as well. The internal risks of cybersecurity and tech implementation, that's at the top of bankers' worries. They're nervous, and I can tell you, we just had our internal, it's called CDAC, long acronym, which basically means we have, some of you probably participate in these, advisory committee from bankers in our districts. And, what I heard from them was lots of concern about stable coins, lots of concern about losing deposits as a result. A phrase that is ringing in my head right now is instant payments equals instant fraud. Lots of worry about fraud. We want to help with this. We want to work together. I heard about sandbox partnership idea, excellent idea. We want to help with these things, but this is part of the sharp edge, I suppose, of the sword. When you were thinking about opportunities and threats. Then Brandon reminded me that, if we don't get going though, the growth is going to occur anyway. It'll be outside of the system. This is coming. We have to face up to it. And then Andy Felton and others after him, we all snickered about, we're recording this and there'll be a voice and they'll call us by AI, and we laugh. But we also saw some AI generated pictures that were beautiful. This stuff is front and center. This, as a supervisor and a sort of a risk manager, this is the stuff that makes me feel nervous. And then Stefan and others reminded us, when banks fail, that's bad. It hurts other people, not just the banks. So we don't want that. So that's the nadir of my emotional journey. After that, we got case study results, and I heard from Mike Carey about Carroll Bank and Trust, and he said, more technology, it makes us competitive with the larger banks. This is really important to us. This is a small community bank. It's embracing technology, and it's needed. He told us that he needs it, so we got to help him. And then Alexander, I'm going to paraphrase you probably in a bad way, or not a bad way, in my own way. But I felt like this really sort of lifted me up. We want to use technology to empower people, not replace people. That's what I heard you say. I heard you say, don't be afraid. We've got this. Here's this ledger from 100 years ago. Look what we used to do. Look where we are now. We can do it. It's going to be good. We got this. Regulators, bankers, researchers, we got to come together. Call to action. Summer told me I needed to have a call to action, and I had a hard time coming up with one, but thank goodness Kenneth Kelly gave us exactly what we were supposed to do. Unfortunately, he's left, but I thought what he said was excellent. Responsible oversight, excellent. He mentioned urgency. Let's be quick. I guess now this is my own editorialization of the urgency part. We heard urgency in the panel as well, like, hey, we got to get going. At the same time, I'll say what my basketball coach used to say, be quick, but don't hurry. Don't be reckless. You got to do it quickly, but you got to do it well. And then what Kenna said I thought was great for bankers, anchor in your community. Lead with your values. That's what you guys do best. That's what you should continue to do. And we're going to be successful. I loved hearing the idea about partnerships and sandboxes. That sounds so energizing to me anyway. So I really feel I feel great at the end of this. I feel energized. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. Thank you to the hosts. Thanks for letting me speak a little bit. Maybe next year I'll try something a little bit more extravagant. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I want to say safe travels to everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Back to Jim.